Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 806, and it's the day before my parents arrived, so I will be journaling about Sunday. Well, actually, it was technically a day when my parents arrived, but it was in the evening, so most of the day we did something else. So let me get straight into it. Just a reminder, this project, Blunt Force Healing, is not only a podcast, but it's also a blog. And every day I blog about whatever happens in Donegal town and area, and mainly our life. So it's like a proper journal. And every single day you get the blog post with embedded video. And that video is also separately available on YouTube and Spotify video. So whether you're watching it, well, you're probably watching it or listening it, maybe on Apple Podcast or Spotify Podcast, because it's also available in audio. Thank you very much for tuning in, and let me get straight into the update. So Sunday was about sauna. And by sauna, for those of you that are new to the project or the channel, we ordered, because we didn't build it ourselves, we ordered people that have experience in building barrel type saunas or hot boxes, if you call them, to build it on a trailer, so it's mobile. It's bolted to the trailer, and I basically latch it to our car and drive it to, for now, just one specific place, Rosnalla Beach, which is a beach that you can drive onto if the tide is right. It's one of not many beaches that you can drive onto in Ireland, and I think in the world there's very little beaches that you can drive onto. I think obviously US have a lot of them, and generally I think South and North America might have more of them available, but these are big kind of areas, and Ireland is fairly small, and there's plenty of beaches here that are quite scenic between the rocks, and they are protected because they are very often habitat or a sanctuary for a different wildlife species. So it's very difficult to actually find one where you can drive onto. And we are lucky enough that we live just about 15 kilometers or 10 miles from the nearest beach that you can drive onto, and this is where we operate with the sauna. And after coming back from Tenerife, because if you read or listen to previous episodes, we were for 2 weeks on Tenerife in Canary Islands, and we came back. So Friday, Saturday and Sunday we had to, I would say, restart the sauna business. Friday was very quiet. We had just a couple of bookings, and we pretty much did it for ourselves because we were missing sauna so much. Then we came on Saturday, which I posted about and updated about yesterday, and today I'm talking about Sunday. So from the morning time we had already a booking to start our day. We came to the beach. Elizabeth went for a walk. Elizabeth is my wife. She went for a walk. I don't remember if Julian was in. I think he was. So I stayed basically with the sauna. It was a first no-show, so the booking that we had in the morning, that person didn't come, which was surprising. We never had a no-show, but our cancellation policy is pretty straightforward. So it's it's kind of, if you book it and you don't give enough time, unfortunately you lose your money. It's not big fee because it's €15 per half an hour session, and this slot, basically when you book half an hour or full hour session with us, is basically you can use the sauna and you can pop out and cool down, or go to the water and take a dip in the ocean and come back, which is what most people do. And within that half an hour, as much as you want, you can do that. if you book an hour, obviously you can do more rotation between the ocean and the sauna. So yeah, we had a couple of bookings across the day, and nothing special happened really. In the end, we had a big group of returning customers, the people that we very often see. That's one thing about making or doing business. It's great to have, to see people returning. And in our case, it's probably about 80% of people are returning customers, which makes you think that you're doing something right. And after that group, we had to wrap up and leave the beach because the tide was very close, and it's the tides here, you need to really watch them because there are obviously some interim tides that are very low, and even when the high tide comes in, you can still stay on the beach. But in our case, it was closer to spring tides, which are much more much higher and much lower, so they are more on the extremes, and they cover more, sometimes even the whole beach. So it is very important to watch them to not end up being flushed away or stuck on the beach. So we went away from the beach, and then afterwards we drove back home. Really, I drove Julian and Elizabeth home and came back for a last couple of hours, because I know that some people come after dark and they enjoy sauna after dark, but it was very quiet. We didn't have much traction, so I wrapped up immediately once the hour that we were supposed to closed. So about 6 p.m. I was done, and that was it. So yeah, that's pretty much the update. Later on, the evening was the highlight of the day, because we went to I went basically to Donegal town, to Diamond as we call it, basically the local square of Donegal town, and I waited for my parents because they arrived around 22, I believe, so 10 p.m. or 10:30. I think it was about 10 p.m. I don't recall exactly, but yeah, they arrived in front of the Donegal famous Abbey Hotel, and it was a great warm welcoming. It was nice to see them again, especially that the last time we were in Poland was quite a while already. So I brought them home, and the whole evening was about the buzz and the chatter, and everyone lit up, especially Julian. And even though we were really tired after holidays and thought that this will be a bad idea to have them immediately after, it was great to see them and kind of have someone to talk to in the evening, sit down and enjoy that time before we start the week. And they were there until another Sunday, so the whole week we had to enjoy together. The big disadvantage or disappointment or whatever you call it was that they came exactly when the weather dropped. It was miserable, very rainy and windy, so they seem to be always coming when the weather is bad, so they can't really enjoy the proper Ireland when the weather is nice. But yeah, that's life. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are on the globe. Stay tuned and see you again.